Good morning and happy Easter. Happy Easter, happy Passover. Hi, loves. Happy that you're here with me in my living room, and I'm happy to be in your living room this morning and being silly with you. I'm missing you. And if you remember, last year, we had quite a few of these and we played in the gardens. And if you're feeling nostalgic for your community, check out on our Facebook page. We have all those pictures of all of us with our fun last year, our silly fun. We have different holy days this year, right? Different experience of the holy days, Passover and Easter. There will be no group pictures for us this year, and no brunch plans. And it's the same all over the world, right? Christian, Jews, and even Muslims for Ramadan at the end of the month. I mean, doesn't look like the end of the month things are going to be dramatically changed. And same experience of isolation and possibly loneliness for atheists, certainly for our merchants, for our young families and our elderly in assisted living. No one's coming over. No one's coming to visit. No one's coloring eggs with each other outside of our own homes. And there's horrible news, devastating news, depressing news. So we're feeling sadness and fear and a lot of grief with our human condition right now. And I think things like poverty and hunger and hatred have always existed before the pandemic, but they seem to be a little heightened by some news reports, and or maybe we're just feeling it more profoundly. Maybe it's that. Maybe we're just feeling it more profoundly. It's seen and felt deeply. But I know, because I know you and I know my heart, that there's compassion and there's love and there's a faith and justice. And those are great equalizers for this pandemic, aren't they? They are. And I'm grateful for technology to be able to keep us connected in the way that we have been the last 5 Sundays. This is our 5th Sunday being in each other's homes like this. So what I would like for us to do this morning is just set the tone for this time together, for our sacred time together, recognizing that there is a newness. There's always an opportunity for newness. There's always an opportunity for us to feel revitalized, refreshed, energized in every moment, because that with a capital T, that which revitalizes us, that which animates us, comes from within us. And so it is our choice this morning to let go of anything that would prevent it from having its full expression by means of each one of us right here and right now. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that truth. I'm grateful for my knowledge of that in an experiential way, that I know that I know that I know. And I know that for you as well. And so it is.
Yes, it is.
So we have a guest here in our living room, keeping the appropriate 6 feet of physical distance away. But we have our CSL Cultural Coast practitioner and board VP, Elaine Silver, Fairy Elaine, with us.
Yeah, 6 feet. When I came in here, there was a tape measure on the floor. So I am definitely at least 6 feet away. And this is a brand new song that I was writing this week, and I finished it yesterday, especially for today. I hope you like it. And, you know, it's about being the high watch. There's a lot of negativity happening, but it's my job to be the high watch. And when I use the word I, you know, we teach that there's only one of us. So That includes anyone that would like to be included. I watch with the eyes of God, seeing everything and being everywhere. I'm feeling with the heart of God, springtime and I'm alive. The heart watch is the mind of God, knowing everything and loving everyone. The heart watch is the love of God, springtime and I'm alive. There's freedom in the knowing I'm rising and I'm growing with the faith of a newborn baby. It's springtime and I'm alive. Christ within has risen. I forgive and I'm forgiven. It's the resurrection season. It's springtime and I'm alive. I watch with the eyes of God, seeing everything and being everywhere. I'm feeling with the heart of God. It's springtime and I'm alive. The heart watch is the mind of God, knowing everything and loving everyone. The heart watch is the heart of God. Springtime and I'm alive. Springtime and we're alive. Springtime and I'm alive. Thanks, Bobby. He's in the invisible realm.
Thank you, Elaine.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Elaine.
Mwah.
I don't think I've ever known anyone that is as such a prolific writer as Elaine. These words, these lyrics come through her just so beautifully, and then she gets to sing them so gracefully. So it's a treat. It's a treat for us. My talk this morning is Resurrection 2020. Resurrection 2020, Easter inspiration during a time of a pandemic. I really cannot talk about anything too outside of what we're experiencing. It just seems so inauthentic for me to be able to, and I really can't do it even. I cannot remove myself from this experience and just speak to something that feels irrelevant to what we're experiencing. As I said, many people all over the world today are experiencing Easter or Passover at home because of our stay-at-home orders. And so it's difficult to celebrate the freedom from bondage, as our Jewish friends and families are, when they're bound at home, when they're confined and restricted in their movements, right? Yet, it does give us a moment to pause. It gives us a moment to pause and recognize what those stories are about and how the Jewish people overcame those plagues. And in a metaphorical way, we honor that today. It is also equally difficult to see a season of rebirth and newness and new life when so many people are dying, when people are struggling during this challenging time. And interestingly enough, the curve has not flattened, so we don't even foresee what's ahead of us, right? So there's many challenges, but let me tell you, I always kind of have a challenge at Easter if I'm going to deliver a message. that's a little challenging for me. I grew up Catholic. Those of you that are on our email list would have seen the picture of myself when I was 3 years old with my Easter basket and my little gloves and the little purse and the little bonnet and the whole 9 yards. I always attempt to be respectful in my opinions and my experience when I'm expressing them. But yet I have to be authentic, as I just said. So I don't take the Easter story literal. And I've read a lot, I've studied a lot over the years, and then I take that into meditation and I sit with it. And I do find metaphysical and metaphorical ideas that I can use in my life today, and that's what brings me relevance. And so I'm speaking from that place. Elaine just sang about springtime and growth and the freshness and the excitement of summer ahead, and even from a earth standpoint, we see that out there, but we're not out there actually enjoying it as such. So even that is a little funny. Now, we know that traditionally Easter is about Jesus of Nazareth, his arrest, his crucifixion, and the resurrection, which is Easter. But I think it's a really interesting story also about the disciples. It's an interesting story about the disciples because they had major changes. They went through a major renewal. Their personalities even changed. Who they became after Jesus's death and resurrection. There was a new enthusiasm in these people. Like they had the fire in the belly. So much so that a new religion was formed, a whole movement that we're still talking about 2,000 years later. So it was pretty magnificent what happened to them and the transformation that they went through. And I'm wondering if that impulse, that urge for something new can actually transform us coming out of this global pain and suffering that we're in. That we can use this story to inspire us to be in a different place post COVID-19. Can we be better people? Can we be a better society? I think that we can. But I ask, can we come away with transformational stories and a commitment to the eradication of homelessness, to everyone having shelter, safety? Can we come away after this with everyone having access to health care? I'm out on the skinny branches. Go with me there, please. I want to give a big applause, online applause, to our essential workers, what have been called our essential workers, and our frontline healthcare and emergency people. Wow, you are essential. We do love you. I do applaud you. Our grocery store workers, our truckers, people have been added to this idea in our society of being essential workers. But what I ask, always wanting to push the envelope a little bit, is can we see them as essential beings? Essential to humanity. Essential for all of us. Thereby giving them the ability to earn actual living wage. We have an opportunity to think deeply right now. How about our commitment to a healthy planet, to clean air and water as being a goal post-COVID-19? This week, National Geographic had a report by a recent, very recent, current Harvard study talking about dirty air, how dirty air worsens the effects of COVID-19 because it's a respiratory illness. And so they've charted countries where higher air population and cities within those countries that had high air population also, high percentage of air pollution, they have had higher percentage of deaths. And in the article, it said it was like putting gas on fire, right? And so National Geographic actually gave us a little prompt and said, could these be lessons on the kind of world that we want to build or rebuild post-virus, post-pandemic? India's harmful levels of nitrogen dioxide fell over 70%. Yet, there's been a great loss of life, and the living standards fell even further. I'm sure you've seen pictures online of the clean air that I'm talking about, and you've seen pictures of the clean waters, the canals in Venice, Italy, where they're seeing fish for the first time in maybe centuries. So this article points to the fact that COVID-19, this pandemic, this experience that we're having collectively is really exploiting our biggest weaknesses as a society, as humanity. And so maybe we have time to think about what are our priorities as a people. Can we find inspiration and reinvigorate ourselves around healthy lifestyles, having a healthy balance of work and family and self-care? How about, can we invigorate our spiritual practices? Can we make them first priority? Instead of the busyness of commerce, TV, and social media, and I don't discount the need and the importance and the value of those in our lives, but can we make our inner life and our spiritual practices first? You know, it's not used up, folks. You know, do we think that those early Christians used up all the creative intelligence that there is? Do we think that they used up all the creative energy that spawned their movement for social and political change, and we have none left? It's not true, right? We're always fueled and we're always animated by that inexhaustible, infinite presence, that divine presence. And there's a creative law of spiritual energy. And that is the impetus for human advancement, for humanity's evolution. That's the pull. That's the pull. And I do believe that we're capable of transforming society and the world. Think about this. What if we are life's disciples now? What if you are? What if you're a disciple, a change agent? I want us to just look at that this morning. Deepak Chopra says that the symbolic language of the crucifixion is the death of an old paradigm. Resurrection is a leap into a whole new way of thinking. Jump with me. Science Mind teaches that we are here to learn and to grow, to evolve. That life is always expanding, that there is a spiral that is always moving us outward and upward. And that we are here to claim and live our highest expression of the divinity that's within us. And we're always being called to move through our changes and our challenges in our lives with this faith in the invisible. That the disciples certainly demonstrated. There's a surrendering and a releasing that we go through of things that no longer serve us, so that we can move into the areas that are truly calling us, that are motivating us, that are inspiring us, and they're found deep within it. It always begins in consciousness, right? I say that often. It always begins within. It always begins with consciousness and our awareness of our thoughts. And then we can move our thoughts to our words and our deeds and our actions. Are you ready? Are you ready? I hope you're ready. And it may cause some of us to go beyond our comfort zone. But a plant breaks through the seed. Yes? Through the soil, through the seed. A chick breaks through the egg. A butterfly through the cocoon. This is transmutation. Anais Nin, who many of you have probably heard this quote, I dearly love it. And the time came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to bloom. Mm-hmm. We are in painful times. Can we risk? And is it time? I think that we're experiencing something very profound, and I do believe that it's time for a major shift. You know, after the resurrection, after the time of the resurrection, the disciples were quickened. They were quickened and they had a profound change, a transformation for them. They were led to have courage, which they didn't show courage prior to his death, did they? I mean, they weren't even speaking up, claiming they knew him. They were revitalized and renewed. There was a fortitude within them, a strength within them, a power that came over them to speak out, despite the fact that they too could be the next one killed. They were risking their very lives to promote the lessons of their teacher, to promote something, to promote life, right? And it's hard for us to know what really happened. I mean, you can read the Bible and then you can read the scholars that read the Bible and study the Bible, which is what I do. And it's not mine to say what happened. I wasn't there. I don't think you were either. But something happened. Something really big happened, right? The Bible scholar, Episcopal Bishop John Shelby Spong, he's got like 5 books, and I've been perusing a couple of them today, or not today, but leading up to today. And he said the disciples saw the way Jesus died as the way he lived. Think about that. The disciples witnessed the way he died as the way he lived. Clearly, they were inspired by his life, by his works, right? They were inspired by the life force within him. How he loved everyone, how he cherished everyone, how he cherished life itself, how he helped and he healed everyone, anyone that came to him. It didn't matter what station of life they were in, who they were. He had a passion for equality, for equity, for justice, for love. He showed love. And he followed that passion to his death. He was reportedly the one who said, every nation will be judged by how they treat the poor, judged on their good works. Good works meaning how we help those in need. He said, when I was hungry and thirsty, did you feed me? Did you come and help? You did nothing. When I needed clothes, when I was sick, when I was in prison, did you even come? Did you even look at me? Mm-hmm. Will we look away now? Will we look away? Will we look away and pretend that this did not happen when we get on the other side of this coronavirus? I know the pain of betraying my own feelings. And I cannot look away. COVID-19 gives us an opportunity to reassess our choices, to reassess our priorities, to reassess who and what we are. And the disciples didn't have social media, and they started a whole new religion. Just 12 of them, plus that woman that didn't get any credit. So I wonder what we could do. What can we do? Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind says that the spirit that raised Jesus dwells in all. The spirit that raised Jesus dwells in all. The spirit quickens our mortal bodies when we let it. Here is the lesson in mental and spiritual healing. As the truth dawns upon the subjective state of our thought, it stimulates it into the newness of action. Everything works from within out. That's found in the Science of Mind textbook. And so this idea of the power of our subjective thought. Let me just talk for a second about affirmations. Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life. I am the resurrection. I am. I am. I am the resurrection. Thank you, Mark Anthony Lord, Science Mind minister, who's now a Unity minister at Unity of Naples. He said, the use of your I am, our I am statements, to resurrect you out of fear, out of lack, out of limitation, is your resurrecting power. And it's right inside of you. So I encourage you today, this afternoon, this week, the rest of this year, to establish a resurrecting affirmation and use it. I am open to be in the vessel for good. I am open to be in the vessel for the divine one. I am open to great changes in my life. I am willing to make great changes in my life. I am a force for good in the world. I am powerfully and eternally guided from within. My God is bigger than any problems in the world. I claim the highest expression of who I am now and who we are meant to be together. What is your I am statement? Thank you. Now Elaine has another beautiful song for us.
Okay. That was amazing, Theresa. Thank you very much. And a reminder of affirming through our own dark nights to resurrect. And it just dawned on me that this song, this is a series of affirmations I wrote a long time ago. I went through a painful divorce, and this song helped to bring me through that. So many of my songs are written through adversity, and then I feel this, but I know this, and I affirm this. So it's called Spirit Within Me. Spirit within me, now I see perfection and love with clarity. Spirit within me, now I know infinite gifts that you bestow. I am open, I am free, divine emotions are healing me. I'm complete and I am whole, sanctified in my heart and soul. Spirit within me, now I find so many blessings from one mind. Spirit within me, we are one, expanding beyond the moon and sun. I surrender to the light that fills me up and gives me the sight to see and remember. What I feel is gratefulness that I am healed. Spirit within me, I am aware. What I receive is what I share. Spirit within my consciousness, reaching out to manifest. All my desires, wants, and needs are more than met in word and deed. Abundance flowing to my door continues now and forevermore. Spirit within me, now I see perfection and love with clarity. Spirit within me, now I know infinite gifts that you bestow. I am open, I am free. Divine emotions are healing me. I'm complete and I am whole, sanctified in my heart and soul, sanctified in my heart and soul, sanctified in my heart and soul. And so it is. And so I have another song. I get to do 2 songs in a row here. And this is also about that spirit within, sometimes known as the heavenly kingdom. Reverend Frankie Timmers in Morristown, New Jersey. Shout out to Frankie. Heavenly kingdom, I realized that, even the word kingdom kind of annoyed me because it was king instead of queen. But I got over it. Because of that, this song came. Heavenly kingdom, I know you're inside me, causing my spirit to soar. Ready to guide me, you've never denied me. You are what I've come here for. Infinite wisdom, a power that moves me, a great celebration of life. Like beautiful music that heals me and soothes me, bringing me into the light. Knowing the truth, always renewed, seeing myself, reflecting in you. Knowing I'm whole, I understand, touching the soul, all that I am. Wonderful spirit with arms that enfold me, comforting me here and now. All of my needs are met, and even if I forget, I'm taken care of somehow. Knowing the truth, I'm always renewed, seeing myself, reflecting in you. Knowing I'm whole, I understand, touching the soul, all that I am. Touching the soul, all that I am. Touching the soul, all that I am. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Lisa. Oh, that's right.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Wow. Loving it. It's now our prayer of abundance time. And we ended here with ended my talk with an affirmation, a series of affirmations, and I'm seeing that you're putting affirmations up, your own affirmations up on the Facebook feed, and I love it, love it, love it that you're doing that. Please continue that. There is a science behind affirmations, and I just want to share this with you for a moment. I like to see our time of giving be a learning opportunity, spiritual economics, so here, there's a little science behind affirmations. Repetitive thought, or the power of our word. There is a theory, research done, and a theory that's actually called self-affirmation theory.
Wow.
Yeah, right. And one of the benefits is that it helps us make up our own self-identity, you know, so that we recognize that who we show up as is not a static thing. It's not a fixed thing, that we can choose, and we can change how we can choose how we change. And that the use of affirmations, neuroscientific research shows that in fact it does create new neural pathways, that the brain literally shifts when we start using these repetitive, powerful statements. And of course, this is what Science of Mind teaches, that the power of our words and the beliefs behind the words and the feelings that are all infused there, that's what fuels our demonstration. Reverend David used to say, a thought plus a feeling equals the demonstration. And that sets law in motion for us to have that repetitive ability, and so of thinking. And so use your affirmations. So Ernest Holmes, I've used this for the last 3 Sundays. Ernest Holmes in Can We Talk to God asks us to claim 100 times a day the following prayer. Good and more good is mine. There is no limit to the good that is mine. Everywhere I go, I see this good. I feel it. I experience it, and it presses itself against me. It flows through me and expresses itself in me, and it multiplies itself all around me. I promised last week to put that in the chat, and I will do that now. Bobby?
I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good and pass it on.
Thank you. We had a request for that, so thank you, Bobby, for that. Just want to talk about a couple more opportunities that we have to continue to support one another and be together in spiritual community and to hone our spiritual practices. And that is Tuesday night's prayer circle, which we do through Zoom. And that is either hosted by myself, Rev G, or our practitioners. So everyone is invited to that. It is at 7 o'clock. And if you're on our email list, you get the link for that. And so if you're not on our email list and you want to be on our email list, then go to our website and make sure that you put your name in there for the newsletter. www.CSLCulturalcoast.org. What would I do without Elaine here? And the other thing is Thursday evenings, our meditation circle, and that's led by Julie Birch. And we had a beautiful meditation this week, and we do every week. And she was on with us last Sunday, and so you got a taste of her. And so please do take advantage of that time too. That's on Thursday evenings at 6:30. The same thing. We send out the link. And with that, I'm going to invite Bobby to come in here.
Thank you, Theresa. Hi, everybody.
We don't have to social distance. We don't have to social distance. What do you got?
Well, first of all, if you would like prayer support, Elaine and Tom and I are available. And, you can just email us what you need prayer for. Or you can give us a call if you know the numbers, or just email to get in touch with us if you'd like prayer support.
And I mentioned that Elaine is a licensed practitioner with us, and Elaine provides the prayer on Facebook once a week. So you've been enjoying those. I know that you have, and so we're grateful to Elaine for her way of service in that. I am going to post a Zoom link. I'm going to leave the camera here in a second and post a Zoom link for us to just get together and see each other face to face. And so if you would like to do that right after Bobby does our closing song, then watch for the link. And I also had it in our email yesterday that I sent out. And I love you.
Social time, yes.
Yeah, just a social time, like our coffee time.
Just to say hi.
Sure. Love you and look forward to chatting with you all. Thanks.
All right, let's sing together. There's a light in the center of everyone. It can light up the world just like the sun. There's a flame within us that can light our way. It can burn away the darkness of a troubled day. Let it shine, let it shine. Let your light shine. Let it shine, let it shine. Let your light shine. Whenever you see darkness, you've got to know that the light is within you. Everywhere you go, whatever you are facing, whatever's on your mind, you can help illuminate it. Let your light shine. Let it shine, let it shine. Let your light shine. Let it shine, let it shine. Let your light shine. One more time. Let it shine, let it shine. Let your light shine. Let it shine, let it shine. Let your light shine. Let it shine, let it shine. Let your light shine. Let it shine, let it shine. Let your light shine. All right, thanks everybody. See you in the social time on Zoom.